Its full under oath video deposition with Congress was made public today. We've published the full video deposition on our YouTube page. I recommend you watch the full video deposition, but I want to give you some of the explosive highlights right here in case you can't watch the full video deposition. But again, my recommendation is you go and watch the full deposition. Here, Special Counsel Jack Smith is being cross-examined about whether Donald Trump's statements that the election was stolen or that he won the 2020 election is simply protected First Amendment speech. And Special Counsel Jack Smith says when you use that to engage in conduct to try to tamper with the results of the election, it's no longer protected anymore. It's a criminal conspiracy. Here, play this clip.
As I sit here right now, I can't remember specific conversations. I do remember that we knew that a sort of First Amendment defense would be part of the case. And I think when I mentioned to you earlier about how to frame the case, we wanted to make clear that this was not about trying to interfere with anyone's First Amendment rights, that this was a fraud. And as you know, under Supreme Court precedent, fraud is not protected by the First Amendment. And so in my mind, it was important to make that clear in the indictment. And that's why when we litigated this issue before the district court, we prevailed.
But the president's statements that he believed the election was rife with fraud, those certainly are statements that are protected by the First Amendment, correct?
Absolutely not if they are made to target a lawful government function and they're made with knowing falsity. No, they're not. That was my point about fraud not being protected by the First Amendment.
Career prosecutor, the diligence, the steps, the meticulousness, the processes that he goes through. Play this clip.
For nearly 3 decades, I've been a career prosecutor. I've served during both Republican and Democratic administrations, and I've been guided by those principles in every role I've held. I continued to honor those principles when I was appointed to serve as special counsel in November of 2022. The decision to bring charges against President Trump was mine, but the basis for those charges rests entirely with President Trump and his actions, as alleged in the indictments returned by grand juries in 2 different districts. Our investigation developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results of the 2020 election and to prevent the lawful transfer of power. Our investigation also developed powerful evidence that showed that President Trump willfully retained highly classified documents after he left office in January of 2021, storing them at his social club, including in a ballroom and a bathroom. He then repeatedly tried to obstruct justice to conceal his continued retention of those documents. I remain grateful for the counsel, judgment, and advice of my team as I executed my responsibilities. I am both saddened and angered that President Trump has sought revenge against career prosecutors, FBI agents, and support staff simply for doing their jobs and for having worked on those cases. These dedicated public servants are the best of us, and they have been wrongly vilified and improperly dismissed from their jobs. I made my decisions in the investigation without regard to President Trump's political association, activities, beliefs, or candidacy in the 2024 presidential election. We took our actions based on the facts and the law, the very lessons I learned early in my career as a prosecutor. We followed Justice Department policies and observed legal requirements. The timing and speed of our work reflects the strength of the evidence and our confidence that we would have secured convictions at trial. If asked whether to prosecute a former president based on the same facts today, I would do so regardless of whether that president was a Republican or a Democrat.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's story is shocking, it is serious, it is and it could change American politicians forever. An 8-hour closed door depositions of Special Counsel Jack Smith has now become a major topic across the United States. People are asking one big question: what really happened behind closed doors? Jack Smith is the main leader, the most powerful legal cases against former President Donald Trump for months. He has stayed silent, no interview, no press conference, no public expressions. But then came this moment. Jack Smith was focused to sit down for 8 long hours and answer thought questions or other of. And across the reporting, the answer were de- devastating. Today we break it all down in easy, so everyone can understand what this means for America. So stay with us because this story is far from our. Who is Jack Smith? Before we get future, let us understand who is Jack Smith. Jack Smith is a special counsel's appointment by the U.S. Department of Justice. His job is simple in word but powerful in reality. Investigate Donald Trump, bring criminal change if necessary, uh, act independently from politicians. Jack Smith is handling two major cases: the classified documents cases, the January 6 election cases. Supporters say he is pro- protecting protecting democracy. Cases sport he is protecting democracy. Critics say he is being used as a political weapon. That is why his uh, depositions uh, matter so much. What is a depositions? Let's us keep it very simple. A deposition is when someone asking questions under oath behind closed door with lawyers present and everything is recorded. It is not a speech, it is not a press. Even you must answer honestly or you risk seriously legal troubles. Jack Smith's depositions late 8 hour that alone tell us something's being was happening. When was Jack Smith called the testify? Jack Smith was called by House Republicans, then wanted answer to key questions. Was the investigations totally independent? Did the White House influence Jack Smith? Was Donald Trump unfairly targeted? Were laws upheld equally? There are serious questions, and for 8 hours, Jack Smith had to respond. The most advanced movement, according the multiple political commentators and reporters, several movements stuck out. Let's go thoughts them one by one in the easy. Jack Smith could not answer some questions. They shocked many people during the depositions. Jack Smith reportedly refused to answer some questions. He kept ongoing investigations. He said answering could compositions cases. The critics this looked like avoiding accountability. They asked, if you are confident, why not answer? Supporters say this is normal for prosecutors, but the public reaction was strong. Lawmaker pressed Jack Smith on one major issue: politics. They asked, did do uh, coordinate with the White House? Did President behind or his team influence you? Were decides discussed with political officials? Jack Smith denied political pressures, but critics say his answers were carefully worded. Some lawmakers said he answered like a lawyer, not like a true trial. This raised even more suspicions among them supporters. The time of the change. Others explosives movement was about things. Lawmaker asked, why were change field during election season? Why not wait until after the election? Did politicians after timing? Jack Smith said timing was based on evidence, not elections. But critics argues even more affects the change. This debate is not regions across the US. This was one of the strongest politicians raised lawmaker compared Trump investigate other political fighters not investigate. They asked why is Trump tried difficulty. Jack Smith said every case is unique, but many Americans are now satisfied with that answer. This movement all alone fused massive online debates. Reaction from Trump supporters after the uh, depositions new spread. Trump supporters react strongly. They said Jack Smith looked nervous. He avoided clear answers. The investigation is politically motivated. Many called the dispositions a disaster for the DOJ. Social media exploded with hashtag and clips. Reaction from Trump critics. On the other side, Trump critics said Jack Smith stand professionals. He protected the integrity of investigations. Republicans were play politics. They believed the depositions change nothing. America remains deeply divided. Why these depositions matter so much? This is not just about Jack Smith, this is about trust in the justice system. Fairness in law, the future of elections, political power. If Americans lost trust in just democracy surface, that is why this movement is honestly media war after the depositions. After the deposition conversations met, media called its devastating. uh, Labor media downplay its independent voice, ask hard questions. The same events protect two completely different stories. This shows how divided America can become. What happened next? Now the big question is what happened next. Possible outcomes: more conclusions, investigations, legal challenge to Jack Smith's authorities. Continue Trump trials, more political divisions. One thing is certain: this story is not end anytime soon. What this means for Donald Trump? For Donald Trump supporters feels energized. Critics remains focused on cheers. His campaign used this as proof of witch hunt. This Trump himself called the investigations the biggest political scam in history. The depositions may actually help him politically. Final thought: in 8 hour disposition in not normal. It is not routine and it is not maintenance. Jack Smith faced touch questions under out. Some answer satisfy people, many did not. This moment will be remembered because in America justice must not only be done, it must be seen as fair. And all right, and right now millions of Americans are still asking, is the system fair? Only time will talk. What do you think? Was Jack Smith honest or was the investigations particularly deviance? Leave your opinion in the comment. Like the video, subscribe the channels. See you next.